4. Good.
Welcome. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The district clerk will administer the oath of office to Eric Herbstritt for a 3-year term commencing on July 1st, 2023 and ending in June 30th, 2026.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Eric Herbstritt,
I, Eric Herbstritt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Board of Education member
as in the office of the Board of Education member
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability
of my ability
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent with
in a manner consistent with
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York.
of the State of New York.
Thank you. Congratulations. And thank you for your volunteering.
The district clerk will administer the oath of office to Kelly Kubicki for a 3-year term commencing on July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2026.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kelly Kubicki,
I, Kelly Kubicki,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
of Board of Education member
of Board of Education member
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent with
in a manner consistent with
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Abilities
according to the best of my abilities,
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent with
in a manner consistent with
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
I need a motion to approve the agenda for the reorganizational meeting of July 10th, 2023. Angela and Eric. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The district clerk will call for nominations for the office of board president. Do I have a motion for Angela?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Tracy Young as board president.
Okay. Tracy Young is board president. Any other nominations? Okay. So being there's only one person, we don't need to vote on it. So motion to appoint Tracy Young as board president. Awesome. We'll do the oath. Thank you.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tracy Young,
I, Tracy Young,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of President of the Board of Education
of the office of President of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent with
in a manner consistent with
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
Thank you. Congratulations. Over from here.
call for nominations for the office of Vice President.
I would like to nominate Angelo Moriello. Did I say that right? I just want to make sure, as the Vice President.
Second that. Are there any other? Then we don't need to vote, I guess? Okay, that's correct. Welcome. Congratulations.
Talk slow to me.
Nerve-wracking part.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Angela Moriello,
I, Angela Moriello,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of Vice President
of
of the
Vice President of
Board of
the
Education,
Board of Education,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent with
in a manner consistent with
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of
York.
the State of New York.
Two there. Thank you.
Alrighty, I need a motion to approve the following appointments that are listed in the agenda, the action items 1 through 4.
Eric, a second. Angela?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the list of other appointments, action items 1 through 28.
Eric? A second. Dave? Thank you.
Any discussion?
I have one piece.
Go ahead, Dave.
What was the change between this morning and this afternoon?
So that was the contract for Zotner.
We don't have the contract yet, or we're choosing someone different?
No, I think that it is still appointing him. It's just, there was a question for the contract. I reached
Okay.
out to Jeff and so said that until we have an answer that we could share with everyone, we figured we will appoint it and then, and wait on the contract.
Okay.
So the contract's not in here.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that the one you're receiving on?
Did you want to?
Daphne, I need you to show me as abstained. There's a personal connection to one of the things being elected.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying, Kelly. All right, 6.2. I need a motion to approve the following annual designation items 1 through 4.
Angela and Eric?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the following annual authorizations 1 through 11.
Not me.
All right, I have Eric. He'll tell us which one it is.
It's kind of annoying.
Okay, so I have Eric, I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Official undertakings. I need a motion to approve the following official undertakings, action items 1 through 3.
Kelly, need a second. Dave, thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 9, other items. I need a motion to approve other items 1 through 11.
Angela and Eric.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So with that, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting and follow with the business meeting.
So moved.
I have,
Oh, God.
Go ahead before we adjourn.
it said on.
Use your mic, you have to use your mic.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify. I thought it said that the district clerk needed to take oath of office.
And we skipped over it, so I thought we would do it at any point.
Tonight.
So, or we can do it now.
Why don't we do it now?
Okay.
Thank you.
Waiting for that.
Are you sure I can? Great.
My other
It's one of those days. I, Daphne Pearson.
I, Daphne Pearson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge,
that I faithfully discharge the duties of the office of district clerk
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and perform my duties
and perform my duties
in a manner consistent
in a manner consistent
with the Constitution of the United States
with the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
Thank you.
Next time I'll reverse it.
She said it a few times.
Is there anything else that we forgot? I know we've tried to reorganize the reorganization meetings, but it is important to capture all of the items for that. So with that, now I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting and follow up with the business meeting for July.
Dave, I need a second. Kelly?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'm going to call us to order. And I need a motion to approve the agenda for the business meeting of July 10th, 2023.
Angela and Eric?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have the open forum. The 30-minute open forum is the time the board sets aside to hear in-person comments for the public. Comments may also be emailed in advance of the meeting prior to 4 p.m. on the date of the meeting, and state in the email if you would like your correspondence read out loud to Daphne Pearson, District Clerk, at pearsond@greenvillecsd.org. This is an opportunity for residents to voice general concerns and compliments, especially about items on the agenda. However, this is not the time to register complaints about specific individuals or about items that should be addressed confidentially through the proper channels. Please, all comments shall be addressed to the district clerk and shall be limited to not more than 5 minutes per board policy 2180. Please note that members of the board may not be able to directly respond to citizens' concerns during the public open forum. Do we have any emails?
We do not.
Okay, is there anyone that would like to say anything? Okay, then I am going to move us on to the presentation about summer tutoring and overview, and I will turn it over to Mike Bennett, the superintendent of schools.
Thank you, Tracy. Originally, back when we set our board agendas, we had talked about doing our data review at this meeting. But after talking with Tracy, we decided that it would be better served to do that at the August meeting. So in lieu of that, we have put together our summer tutoring and what that looks like. I know we'll go into a bit of a different model. So Matt has worked with each of the building principals over the last week or so to put together this presentation. It kind of shows us a little bit of where we were, where we're at, where we're going in regards to this latest and greatest version of summer assistance to our kids. So I will turn it over to Matt Berkshire.
Good evening. Thank you, everybody. How you doing today? So this evening, we're going to have an overview of summer learning at Greenville Central School. We'll take a look at some current summer learning loss and summer program research. And then we'll go back and look at some recent Greenville summer program history and break down some components and staffing and some student numbers. And we'll take a look at some specific things for summer of 2023, and then we'll end with some thoughts and questions that we have that will guide our work going forward. To begin with, I wanted to share some research that I found as we were looking at, what do we want to focus on during the summer, and what should a goal of a summer learning program be? And I came across this this recent research that was published, and this article was from the Brookings Institute, which compiled much of this research. And it was really trying to answer the question is summer learning loss a real thing, right? So the idea that there are concerns about what happens with students over the summer and forgetting what they've learned in the school year, that has been around for a really long time. So that phenomenon of losing academic skills during the summer, you may have heard it referred to as summer learning loss or summer slide, and so that's been widely reported each summer. And one of the reasons why I chose to focus on this data is, and on this research in particular, is because it includes some data on iReady, which is something that we are very familiar with and something that we use to take a look at our students. So I thought, let's really look into this. So the research and across the studies, what they found out is that the story is actually still pretty mixed in the early grades as to what happens over the summer. But the researchers are seeing a drop that's consistent in average test scores for students in 3rd grade through 8th grade, particularly in mathematics. So there's actually a larger drop in mathematics. This research is suggesting there's a larger drop in mathematics skills over the summer than there are in reading. And there's a number of reasons that they suggest may be in play there, and I won't go into all of those. But just a piece of where we currently are. So understanding that K-2, it is research not showing that it's so significant at this point. 3 to 8 showing that it is more significant, and even more so in mathematics than it is in reading. I also want to share some of the work that's been done around deciding what are the quality components of a summer learning program? What makes a strong program? So, small classes, right? Programs with small classes and significant resources that are aligned to student needs. Having qualified teachers that are there in the summer program. High quality instruction. In high quality instruction, we're talking about those resources that are research-based, and that the instructors who are using those resources are trained to use them, and that they're carrying them out and executing those resources in the way that they were designed to be used. Of course, policies to maximize attendance and participation, instead of making it an optional thing, saying, no, it's a priority that we have you here. And sufficient duration. And I put in there 5 weeks long is what they noted. Some specifics on there. They're asking that students should receive at least 2 hours of directed daily instruction, whole group and small group, 3 to 5 students, and that the program meet during the week 4 to 5 times for at least 5 weeks. So these pieces of the summer learning program, this high quality summer learning program components, we reflect on what we've done in the past, and we reflect on what we're currently offering, and what helps us reflect on where we still need to grow and get to. as we look back over the last 3 years, so the recent Greenville summer program history, reflecting on this was part of why we made the decision to move toward the summer tutoring model. So to begin with, in summer 2021, Ellis Elementary did what they called Camp Ellis, which was really a socialization-focused summer program. It was coming out of COVID. Hey, let's get the kids in here, let's get them readjusted, and it was very much a social focused summer program. There was some academics that happened there, but by and large, it was, hey, let's get them in here, let's get them used to playing with other kids again and learn how to be around other people and just appreciate the fact that we can do that. So that took place from July 12th through August 4th. It was just 2 days a week, and really, at the end of the day, it was 8 total days for the summer and 70 total students that were in that program. Summer 2022, last year, we shifted our focus to more academic. We had reading instruction, we had math instruction. We also had social emotional learning and play that was incorporated there. And that was broken down into 2 sessions, which happened between July 5th and August 11th. The first session worked out to be 10 days, and the second session turned out to be 11 days. And by a day, I mean 8 to noon is what we were looking at. Over those 2 sessions, we were able to serve 99 students. So here we are in summer 2023, and we just kicked off today. We had our first groups of students in for tutoring, and we are going to be offering 19 to 21 total days, and there's some variation there because of the flexibility of the tutoring model. So I'll go into that a little bit more when I talk about staffing, about the reasoning behind that and how that's working. But we're focusing on 38 students, and I'll go into as we talk and look about and learn about the learner characteristics of who we're focusing on for this summer, about how we came to that number. The middle school has been a little more standard from 2021 through 2022. They roughly they had 16 days versus 21 days from 21 to 22. Enrollment was 43 in summer 2021 and 25 in summer 2022. The middle school summer program is a little different than the elementary. We still focus on English language arts and mathematics, and there's some social emotional learning that happens there. There are some students who are required to attend summer school at the middle school if they failed a course or if they failed multiple courses. They need to be there and complete 25 hours of seat time in order to do the credit recovery for middle school. So that's part of the purpose of the summer learning. This year, we were able to serve 21 and growing. We're still recruiting middle school students, 21 students, and depending on the subject area that they're in for, they're going to have between 19 and 24 total days of tutoring, anywhere from 1 hour to 4 hours a day, depending on their needs and the reason why they're there. Yeah.
Matt, the requirement that you were saying about seat time, is that our requirement, is that New York State requirement for middle school?
I believe that's a local
Okay.
precedent. Yeah. Here we are taking a look at just certified teachers. So not taking in certified teaching assistants into the numbers on the table there. I'm just looking at our certified teachers, those folks who are the most qualified educators in our district. And this was one of the reasons why we shifted to the summer tutoring model. So if you look at this evolution of, particularly at Ellis, the number of certified teachers that we were able to get from 2021 to 2022 to this summer, it's a significant change. And part of our hope in moving to the tutoring model was, if we offer teachers more flexibility in terms of their tutoring, would we get more of them to come in and work with our students? So rather than saying, hey, you've got to commit to being here from July 10th through August 5th, Monday through Thursday from 8 to noon, rather offering them, hey, would you commit to coming in on a schedule that works for you? For example, Mondays and Tuesday mornings from 8 to 10, and maybe doing a second group on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you are up to it. Could we interest you in summer school and into teaching? And with that sales pitch, we were able to get more folks, more certified teachers at Ellis to participate in what we're doing. It took a little bit of coaxing. It took some work on the part of the assistant superintendent's office, the K-12 principal office, and building principals, where we were really doing active recruitment of teachers over time, and adding tutors right up until the final board meeting. You all were still approving tutors on the last agenda. So, but we feel that gain from going from 0 certified teachers to 10 certified teachers, when we talk about that quality instruction and highly qualified teachers, in that area, we feel like we made a big jump there, and that was part of the focus of moving to tutoring. In addition, I want to note and thank and acknowledge the hard work and the value that the TAs that we have that work with our summer programming, that the contributions that they make. We even currently have TAs that are going to be tutoring this year, as well as aid monitors. What they did in the past, the summer of 2021, that was all TAs, aid monitors, and they were there to take care of those kids and help re-socialize them after COVID. So just want to take a moment to acknowledge the work and the value of what they provide as well. All right, so looking at what we're doing right now. So you'll notice that some of these are check boxes on what we were looking for quality programming. So we've got small group tutoring happening, 1 to 4 students, 1 teacher to 1, 2, 3, or 4 students. Based on the teacher availability, 1 hour or 2 hour sessions in grades K through 5, 2 to 3 days per week. And in 6 to 8, 1 or 2 hour sessions in grades 6 to 8, 2 to 4 days a week. Some of those students in middle school are actually in for 4 hours a day. Like I said, students who failed more than 1 class and need to be there for the credit recovery, they will be here from 8 to noon, 4 days a week. Like I noted earlier, week of July 10th through the week of August 21st is our window. We have the certified teachers and certified teaching assistants that I spoke of on the last slide here working for us. And a big difference between what we have this year, or what we do not have this year, and what we had in the past is transportation. So there's no transportation available. Parents are the ones that need to transport their students to and from tutoring. So who did we invite? Who did we try to get in to get extra support over the summer? Well, we invited all students who were on the intervention caseload at Ellis. So all ELA and math-focused students were all invited to participate. Students with disabilities, as referred by their special education teachers. And in the middle school, I touched on a little bit, students failing a course or students failing multiple courses, as well as just teacher recommendations. At the very end of the school year, final averages are all considered, and each teacher team met with Mr. Reeve and I, and we identified students that we wanted to target for summer learning, who would be recommended and who would be required to be there. here are our instructional priorities. These are our areas of focus. So our goal of summer tutoring is to prevent learning loss in the achievement of reading, writing, and mathematics over the summer months while school is not in session. So really focusing on trying to maintain those skills that they ended the school year with. In the elementary school, we want phonics and phonemic awareness instruction for those students who have not yet mastered their foundational skills. And really great reading, the program that we use as our phonics and phonemic awareness program at the elementary school actually has a summer program that is free. And it continues on with the instructional practices that our students are used to. So we're grateful for that. And some other priorities, time on task with students, reading and rereading books. And then in mathematics, fact fluency and other highlighted focus standards. The focus standards were identified by our mathematics coach. These focus standards are standards that our teachers are familiar with. They do work around these. So we're focusing on the fact fluency and procedural fluency with the focus standards. And writing every session, trying to get the students just to stay fresh, to write, get those thoughts out, and it can be integrated in math or it can be integrated into English language arts. At the middle school, sorry, go ahead, Tracy.
What does time on task mean?
Time on task, so time that you're engaged with reading, right? If you think about how often you practice a musical instrument, right? If you put that down, you get rusty. You lose your calluses on your fingers. You may forget some chords. You lose the strength in your fingers. That learning on a musical instrument is similar to the academic learning that we do. So with the reading, we want the time on task happening. There is research that shows students who read a certain amount each day will attain a vocabulary amount to a certain level, that those students tend to do better on standardized test scores. And a lot of the work that we do at the elementary school, the 100-book challenge and the independent reading that happens in classroom is meant to support that time on task. So we want to continue it on during the summer. In the middle school, reading comprehension and vocabulary, working to scaffold students to support them in reading grade level texts, fiction and nonfiction, cross-content area literacy, and again in mathematics, highlighting those focus standards and maintenance of fact fluency over the summer. It's important for our middle schoolers too. Really important as they move into algebra to have that fact fluency. So how will we figure out if this works? It's tricky, right? It's not a lot of time, and we always want to see what we're doing and how effective is it. So we sat back and looked, what data do we have that's a baseline from the end of the school year? And we actually have a lot of data that's baseline at the end of the school year on individual students. One of those data points is oral reading fluency. So what we'll do is we'll do an oral reading fluency assessment with all of our students, compare that end of the summer to their baseline from the end of June, and we will look to see how many students either maintained or improved their oral reading fluency over the course of the summer. The Really Great Reading Playground is an assessment program that's built into the Really Great Reading program, both the summer and the school year. It's an assessment piece, and the students are very familiar with it. The Foundational Skills Survey is for our students who are in kindergarten. They're not oral reading fluency is not supported prior to springtime of first grade. So those students who are our kindergarten students who are moving up into first grade will be assessed using the foundational skills survey. We give that at the end of the school year, and we'll be able to give it again at the end of the summer to see if there was maintenance or progress. And then in mathematics, we're looking at computational fluency. We have Reflex Math. That's a tool that we use. Students are very familiar with that and they enjoy it. And then as well as sprints, which is something that you all probably remember when you were a student, which is timed recall of mathematics facts, the good old-fashioned paper pencil. And not to ignore the high school, because the high school does have some summer learning that's going on. Different model at the high school, right? So we have 14 students who will be participating in APEX courses. So that number 14 includes students who are doing credit recovery, students who did not pass certain courses, and some students who are completing coursework from the 22-23 school year who are out on medical. So they're still continuing work through the summer. And so we have a number of teachers that advise these students and are there to support them as they work with their APEX classes. So going forward, we're trying something new, right? And we want to know, is this something that works? And if it is, how can we continue it and continue to improve it? So how will we do that? Number one, those data points that I just went over, we're going to take a look at those. We're going to see, did the work we do prevent summer learning loss? Did it add to where the students were at? We'll also get feedback from our summer tutors. What we're curious about with that question is, hey, did this work for you? Would you continue to do this? Would you add more students to your tutoring caseload? Because if the data points to effectiveness, we really would like to recruit more teachers to sign on tutors or to sign on as tutors. And how do we do that, right? Word of mouth, hey, that was pretty great. I was able to work over the summer. I was able to work with small groups of students, be very focused on their needs. You know, in many cases, our teachers this summer are working with students who they had, right? And just continuing the work that they did with them. So if the data shows that this is something we want to continue, the question then becomes, how do we get more teachers so we can serve more students and check more of those boxes on the quality summer programming research list?
I have a question, Matt.
Yeah.
So is this tailored to the individual student, or are they just following a general guideline?
So with the really great reading piece, it will be tailored to where they currently are in their needs. And with the mathematics, it's going to be student need based. So these small groups, you've got 1 to 2 students. And for example, like I said, a lot of teachers know these students already and they know where their strengths and weaknesses are. So they're able to tune right in and get right to that.
And then for middle school also, how would that work? Like if they failed science, how do they catch up in 5 weeks?
That's a really good, that's the ultimate question, right? I mean, we ask them to be here for 40, and then you've got to make up all that work within 5 weeks. So what they're focusing on, and again, if you failed science, you're not here at summer school for science. We focus on the core areas of ELA and math. Research shows that a student who fails English language arts or mathematics in middle school is more at risk for dropping out. So we want to really address those students. So it is condensed. It is hitting those focus standards, what matters most, right? And what will you need to be most fluent in as you move forward.
question. Have we looked at attendance? So the students that are participating, are any of them, or what percentage were chronically absent? And would be one question. And then I guess the second question is, if that pattern repeats itself, then what do we do?
So, yes, to the students who are chronically absent participating. There is a connection between our students who are chronically absent and our students who are receiving intervention. There's overlap on those lists. We did not specifically target chronically absent students in the elementary school. In the middle school, chronically absent students tend to do a lot poorer on their grades, right? And end up being those students who fail classes sometimes. So they do end up in our summer program. But we have not singled that out as a learner characteristic. It's a good idea, though.
Kelly has a question.
I just was curious, I know that we're not doing the transportation this summer. Did you find that to be a reason for more people to not be participating?
Thank you for asking. I wanted to touch on that and I forgot to. I would say it's the number one reason why parents said that they couldn't attend. And typically, last year the number one reason why folks couldn't attend was, well, he goes to summer camp this week, or he goes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so he can't participate. So this year I was able to say, well, how about coming on, Mondays and Tuesdays? I've got a teacher that would tutor then. Would that work? Yeah. So we certainly lost some students without the transportation, but I think in the flexibility on the other side, we were able to gain some students. But yes, to acknowledge there were certainly students and parents who communicated, yeah, I wouldn't be able to transport them on my own due to childcare and work and things as such.
Wait, Matt, thanks for the presentation.
Yeah.
Of the number of students that you identified, or your group identified in the middle school that are required to come, what is the percentage of all those kids that show up
So
today? Since today was the first day.
We got 5 out of the 6 of those students to sign up for summer school. In terms of who showed up, not all of those students started today.
Okay.
Some of them will be starting later this week. But out of the danger zone here to be speaking off the top of my head, but I believe it was 5 out of the 6. I think I remember Mr. Reeve telling me.
All right, so in the middle school, there was only 6 kids that were identified as needing some kind of intervention for the summer. Does that mean that only that number failed 1 or 2 classes?
So those 6 students that were identified as being required were students that were, the teacher teams decided that their recommendation was either summer programming or retention. So we will not move you on to 8th grade. We will not move you on to 9th grade unless you come in for summer programming with us.
So you put that question to 6 kids,
Yes.
only 6 kids, not?
Right. The other students who were invited were recommended. They said, teacher team said, we would like them to come in, however, we're not recommending them for retention if they don't attend. We would just like them to be here because we think that they would benefit from it.
Of those 6 kids, how many need to get 25 hours to? Do you, if you don't know, that's fine. But my question is, with this model, are they gonna, some teacher's gonna have to show up for those 25 hours during those given days
Yep.
in order to make that kid eligible to move on, right?
Yeah.
Same teacher?
Some of them have different teachers, different subject areas. Yeah.
Right, but if a kid is failing math or English, in the case of the middle school, since that's our focus area, a particular English teacher or multiple English teachers will be working with that kid for 25 hours?
It would be.
Doesn't matter to me, but I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it would be, we have one English teacher working with students in 8th grade. We have 2 English teachers working with students in 7th grade, and I believe it's 2 working in 6th grade as well. But students are assigned to an individual tutor. So you would have, you know, Dave, if you ended up in summer programming, you would have the same reading tutor, you would have the same math tutor. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
So I have a question regarding the 5 out of 6. Did someone choose to retain?
I don't believe that that was the end of the conversation that they said, never mind, we'll just retain. I didn't have that conversation with that parent, so I don't have the particulars of it. But I knew that there was one student that we were focused on getting in as a required student who we did not get the commitment to come in yet.
I like the
Matt, at the high school level,
Kelly, can you just move the microphone closer?
not working. Oh, that's better. At the high school level, the Apex, is that an online thing and is that course specific? So it's not just ELA and math at the high school?
That's right,
And that's to be able to move on for next year?
that's right.
Is that the only failures there were, just 14 course failures that needed to deal with this over the summer? Or is there others who may be repeating next year?
Those particular students are students who failed classes and elected to take the class or to retake the class over the summer. There are other students who failed classes that will need to retake them over some point in their, before they exit high school, or they're gonna have to look at a different path where they don't need that particular credit.
Kind of off topic, but I don't know if you have this or you could provide it to me another time. Since you mentioned our Apex offering in the high school, I'm wondering, since we've been doing that for 2 or 3 years, what is our success rate with that?
I
don't think we've ever gotten a report on the number of kids that have attempted that path and been successful or not successful.
There's a lot of information there to talk to. I wouldn't want to begin without,
It just came to me. So.
having some facts, but there's definitely a lot of information we could look at with Apex and student success and the connection to a student who takes a Apex course for credit recovery and does that lead to them ultimately graduating on time. Any thoughts or questions?
Kelly, you look like you have a question. Go for it.
I just wanted to say thank you, because I know you're doing double duty and trying to put this together after last week, so thank you.
No problem. Appreciate it.
And I
Thank you,
think
everyone.
that's it. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. I think since there was a rather significant change this year, that it was very helpful to understand what the summer program looks like and so forth. And we look forward to kind of seeing the results. you know, with expectations, I think that that it does help to stem the learning loss. You know, we've got great teachers and so forth.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the results too. We've got some really great teachers who really care about these students, and some of those teachers, like I said, they pick the kids themselves. And I even had teachers who, you know, I was in RTI meetings with them and they said, hey, can I get him in summer tutoring? I said, would you come in and tutor? They said, let me think about it. And they ended up signing up, right? So some of our folks who are tutoring are there because they wanted to work with specific students.
And it also provides the opportunity, you know, for a one-on-one to really hone in on some of the areas of weakness.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, so for discussion, we had the district-wide safety plan, the public hearing on August 14th, and I'm going to turn it over to Todd Hilgedorf, the Assistant Superintendent of Business, to update us there. Welcome.
Thank you. So this is more of a quick share rather than a discussion. So the district safety plan is reviewed and updated and then approved on an annual basis. At the June board meeting, if you remember, we had some visitors here from Questar who shared a little bit about some of that process and some of the items that were specifically updated this year. So this is just on here as a reminder that in August will be the formal hearing and then also board adoptions. The state requires that it be approved by September 1st.
And if the public is interested in that information on the safety, where would they find it?
That's a good question,
It's on board
Daphne.
docs.
It's
on
on
the
board
last
docs,
agenda.
okay.
And
It's on June's board docs.
So one would simply go into board docs and the June agenda and they can locate it. Okay, and if anyone has any questions, they could contact Daphne Pearson. their
They can,
district clerk.
actually, I'll make sure that goes on the website,
Okay,
so it's easy to find.
Thank you.
thank you. All right, that's why we put it under discussion. So previously we had discussed a possible change in policy regarding dogs on school property. I'm going to turn it over to Mike Bennett, who will talk a little more about that.
Yeah, so this has become a, not a hot topic, but taking a look at this policy wasn't quite as easy as we thought it was going to be in regards to some of the different things. So at our last policy meeting, we had some discussion and took a look at what the town's policy around dogs are, and looking to adopt some of the same language to put into a policy if we were to have a policy. We also reached out to Jeff Honeywell, our attorney, who said we are not required to have a no dog policy. We also reached out to Bob Dignam from Utica National, our insurance carrier, who says that we are amply covered for any issues that may come up if there's an issue with a dog on campus, whether we have a policy or not have a policy. So we've gotten some of that feedback, and we will look to incorporate potentially putting some of the verbiage from the town's policy into ours so that we are just consistent with what we're doing. So that's kind of an update of where we're at.
And Mike, do you know what some of the key elements of the town's policy is?
I'd have to go back and take a look. I think a lot of it is around being leashed, taking care of dog droppings, making sure that you're cleaning up, just being a good owner of a dog and being a good community member, as there are other folks who are on campus who may not be as enthralled with dogs as our dog people are. So those are some of the things between leashes and cleaning up after them, and just being respectful of those other folks.
Any further thoughts or anything on that? Okay, 5.3, New York Forward Grant and Media Effort. So I'll take this one. So last year there was a committee from the town that joined and that was organized in order to write a grant. It was a New York Forward is the name of the actual grant by New York State, kind of targeting renewal and revival efforts in smaller communities. The Greenville had put in an application, did not receive it, is in the process of updating and possibly resubmitting for the next year. One of the things that came out of the committee was a thought about having a media campaign or an effort to try to increase awareness of Greenville, the town itself, and using it to kind of draw attention and just welcoming individuals. So the thought was to investigate the appeal of creating such a campaign, and they reached out to the school to see if this was something we would be interested in participating. It is not even in the preliminary, it's like pre-preliminary at this point, but the question was, is it something that is worth participating, having a representative, find out information, and then deciding how to proceed. So I said that I would at least share the information as it stands right now with everyone on the board for that. And so as further information comes out, then we can update everyone, but I just wanted to kind of gauge what initial thoughts.
I don't really have much of a thought because it's such a broad idea right now, but it sounds nice. That's my thought.
I'm just gonna keep stealing your
That's
mic. I don't
okay.
know what's wrong with mine. I would say, I mean, right now, it doesn't really sound bad right now. I would just ask that Sierra be in on that from the ground up, just because I think that's really kind of her wheelhouse.
All right. Committees, 5.4. Mike, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, this isn't so much a discussion, it's more of an advertisement, really, for our district-wide committees. We have a number of them in which we're required to have, and they're made up of faculty and staff, board members, community members or parents. We do have a number of holes in which we're looking to fill. We have reached out, or I say we as if I did anything, Daphne had put out to our union representation to make sure that we can get some support from the different unions to add to some of these committees. But there are 2 committees that are looking for a board member now to participate in, and that would be the District Safety Council Committee. We need a board member for that one, as well as our Technology Committee, which is our advisory committee. So for the folks who are here, if you have interest in joining one of those 2, that would be fabulous. For folks who are listening or tuning in virtually, if you've got a desire to be a part of a district-wide committee, please reach out to us at the district office and express, because we do need one from often a parent from the elementary school, middle school, high school for some of these committees. So if you're interested and you want to get more information on what's available or what our needs are, please reach out to us.
Mike, is this advertised, like, can Sierra make a post looking for these and see what interest she gets?
I'm sure we can take a look at that.
Yeah, because it seems like there's a lot of open positions for parents and students as well, and I don't know if they know about it.
I did attach to the agenda this document that he's looking at, which shows all the vacancies, and it also shows the responsibility and charge document that shows what each of the committees are responsible for and what they do.
Mike, I'll sign up for the District Safety Committee.
Okay, great, thank you.
As long as they meet on Sunday morning.
Since Dave took what I was gonna do, I'll take the tech committee.
Oh, no.
Wow, great. This is great. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Scott.
So we didn't have to nominate the 2 individuals that are not here. All right, then I'm going to move us on to our action items. Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes from June 12th, 2023, as well as the minutes from June 26th, 2023.
I have Eric and Angela.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Dave?
Yes.
Dave, yes. I need a motion to approve the finance reports for the month ending June 30th, 2023.
I have Angela and Kelly.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the personnel agenda.
Eric? Dave, thank you.
Any discussion?
One item, Tracy, I would request that, if at all possible, on our recent resignations from the elementary school, that we have a post-employment interview.
Yes, as a standard protocols, Aaron does do our exit interviews with our folks. They're not required to do it.
Right.
Most of the time they are coming in and doing that. So, yep.
Okay, and Kelly, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll be abstaining, Daphne, from the personnel agenda due to a family member on it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the transfer to capital reserve.
Kelly, need a second? Eric, thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the preschool memorandum of agreement between the Green District and the United Methodist Church, UMC, Daycare Center for 23-24.
Angela and Eric.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to accept donation to the Greenville Central School District from Tracy Young and Philippe Content for various robotics pieces and parts, supplies for use at Spartan Bots Robotics Club.
Kelly and Eric.
Any discussion? I will obviously abstain from this vote. All in favor?
Aye.
And thank you.
Let's see. Topics for future discussion, input items for future meetings.
I just wanted to touch on the community workshops. Do we have any pressing issues that seem to be simmering that we need to maybe discuss with the community? And if not, cool.
Well, actually, we'd be starting almost a plan for next year for that. We said we'd have 2 for 22, 23, and we did that. So I guess we could be looking for items that be discussed September, October, same as last year.
Any other topics? I had one, obviously I'd love to see the results of the summer tutoring. So September, October, or whenever the appropriate time is for that. Okay, just a few reminders. We have the July 31st workshop, which in a way ties in, Dave, to what you said. This is the development of goals. Last year, when we developed the goals, we had communication with the community and having these open forums as one of the ones. One of the questions will be, as we go through, assess how we did against our 6 goals, and then decide on what the goals are for the year moving forward. We have the option of keeping some of the same goals and carrying them forward if there's a need or a benefit for it. So that is going to be happening on July 31st at 6 p.m. And we will have some munchies or whatever, so it helps brain power thinking. And then our next board meeting is on August 14th, normal time, staying that channel, saying, you know, I'm dating myself, sorry guys. And open forum. Then please note the same guidelines apply as stated during the first open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Do we have any emails?
Just do a refresh.
No. Okay, then if I could have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Angela? Second? Dave? Here.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I-
Aye.
Aye.
See you in 3 weeks.